Oma awo bezara guru pema sidi woy. 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 Sangye Jedang Zoge Zonam La Changjo Bado Dane Gyabzon Che Dage Sangye Jedang Zoge Zonam Dane Gyabzon Che Dage Zuzo Yebe Sonam Ge Lola Benje Sangye Doba Shu Sangye Jedang Zoge Zonam Changjo Bado Dane Gyabzon Che Dage Zuzo Yebe Sonam Ge Lola Benje Sangye Doba Simje damje dewa dan dewe gyudan denpa gyuje simje damje dunga dan dunga ge gyudan tawa simje damje dunga mebe dewa dan mi tawa gyuje simje damje nyire jadan nyidan tanyum la neba gyuje medo da re ra re ji nyide deva kundi shindo mede umaye Okay. So this evening we are having a video, is it? Maybe or maybe. What is it? Yes or no?
You decide.
Huh?
You decide.
You want to watch movie or you want to listen to me blabbering?
Both.
Huh?
Both.
What kind of movie? Is it like 7 Years into Bed or something?
No. Action movie.
Oh, action movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
James Bond.
Never say die.
James Bond of the Dharma world. No, Capucin has put together a film, right? A film? We say film or just a video, documentary?
Yeah, more documentary.
So documentary video film together for the last how many years? 7 years. So yeah, since 7 years, documented regarding Rinpoche's. I think one of you tell. You want to tell a little bit about it?
Like Rinpoche's vision about here. You know what his vision of. So. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, the projector, right?
Huh?
There's only one pro that we only have.
Wait, there's one TV here. Where?
Yes.
Yeah, there's one TV here, no?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought they have a large screen.
Yeah, they have TV. Yeah, we have TV.
Where is it?
Of course, we have TV. Oh. when when I
10 minutes.
1 hour, 10 minutes.
These ones? 3, 2.
But if it works,
voila.
It's not much bigger.
if it will work, is another question.
Yeah.
Maybe easier she sends the links.
We might need binoculars.
Yeah.
No, we will ask Daniel. He is specialist.
Okay.
So to make
My brother is also a specialist. He
Okay.
can.
can make screens larger?
Yeah.
On larger screen.
TV छ छैन हामी त TV छ यो त
TV?
यो त रहेछ यो काम गर्छ यो त हेर्नु
के गर्नेलाई?
खोइ भिडियो एउटा देखाउने भन्छ
now or
आफ्टर 5
You talk a bit.
okay. So maybe we
TV दिएर म ट्रेन्ड अप लुगा राखौँ
ए ल देख्छु आज 5 बजे गुड टिभी
Very good.
Okay. Huh?
It's more to the people over there.
It's okay. You can go come closer.
I don't know.
Let's start with Q&A.
Yeah, we start with the Q&A. We talk a little bit about our trip and our experience, and then we conclude this trip with the motivational, what we say, dedication. And then after that, if you feel like watching movie, we can watch a movie. Yeah. Okay. So question. Where's the question?
Rinpoche, I was wondering for modern people, you know, who are so busy indulging in the pleasures of the senses, how we can, you know, tell them about the Buddha Dharma and how we can get them to study and practice in this day and age.
I believe that something has to support. No matter what we do in our life, something has to be behind it to support it. Whether it be practice, whether it be studying, whether it be, going into business, whatever it may be. You need that. Day before yesterday, we were talking about the small, small spark of light. Some people, they have a good life. There's no necessary for Dharma in their life. Yeah. They have a good life, they're happy in their life, they're satisfied with what they have. So mentally there's no place for Dharma. But then the truth is, no matter how long you indulge in it, in the worldly pleasure, at a certain time you are going to have to face suffering, sickness and death. And that's when a lot of people actually get the spark inside that, that pushes them. Like a wake-up call that pushes them to search for a different path, a different means, a different way. Yes. So the concept I always apply is, I always say, you need to learn, you need to wait for people to get that spark. Some people experience it in a very early age. Some people experience it way later. Some people experience it in the middle. So there is no such thing as this Dharma is for the younger, or this Dharma is for the older, or this Dharma is for that, and the Dharma that goes for the older doesn't go for the younger. That in Dharma, that doesn't exist. In tradition and culture, that exists. Okay, in tradition and culture, there are separations between, what kind of practice you want to give when people are a certain age, what kind of practice you want to give when people are younger. When you are younger, there's more focus on study because you have more time. That's the concept sort of thing. And when you're older, when lamas come up here to the villages and all the old people, all folks of the village come to receive long life initiation, then the lama is like, do your prostration, do your kora, and do your money. Focus on that. So traditionally there is that aspect of differentiation. But I don't believe that there is a differentiation when it comes to Dharma. It's the wake-up call that you need to wait for. And I'm sure all of you have experienced it. That's why you are here today. You come to a point where you're searching for something. Or if not that, you have heard something that makes so much sense to you that you are like, I want to research more into this. So these are the factors. That's what I believe. People have come to me and said, oh, my daughter and my son, they're not into Dharma, And I said, leave your son and daughter alone for the time. Let them enjoy. Let them, do what they do. Then a time comes when, when there is heartbreak. Yeah, a time comes when when the father is sick, the mother is sick. A time comes when there is, then where they have to face reality, and they start asking questions. Why am I in this loop? Why am I in this? Why am I getting up, working, going back, sleep, getting up, working, going back, sleep, going, So these kind of experiences, it's like a wake-up call for a lot of the people. Suffering, basically. So that's what I believe in. When someone approaches me and says, oh, you are young, they are young, they can relate to you, you need to go and talk to them. I'm like, what do I talk to them about? Right? What I say is of no interest to them. What their interest is on, I have no knowledge about. Gaming, this, movies, party, enjoyment. So, I believe you need to wait for a call. The call comes. Everyone has that call. Everyone has that call.
And but is someone who had the wake-up call and has faith in the three jewels, that is a modern person and has maybe imprints so much habituation in this life to indulge in the pleasure of the senses and get distracted and feels lazy to practice, study. What would you advise such a person?
I think I always believe that I always believe being alive is such a beautiful gift. And the most beautiful thing about life is choice. We don't take away people's choice. Right? You take away someone's choice, that's it, end of life. So never take away someone's choice. Yeah? And the best method to approach things is through choice. I think if something starts to make sense right now, but you're still hesitant, you give yourself enough time. Remind yourself enough times, and the practice becomes stronger. Right? Indulgence is not really a bad thing when it comes to understanding the essence of life. Right? You need to travel, explore, understand cultures, ways, means. Go climb a mountain and breathe in the fresh air. You need to do that. You can't always be, cooped up in a cave with your legs cross-legged and believe that, everything is going to work out that way. It doesn't. Like I said, the journey is always pleasant when you're enjoying the journey. Yeah? And indulging and enjoying is a little bit different. Right? Yeah? Indulging is going beyond your measurement of what brings you peace. A lot of the things that we indulge in, believing that it gives peace, doesn't give us peace. It creates more problems. For example, drinking. Right? If you want to drink alcohol, if you have not taken the bodhisattva and the tantric vows, you can drink the alcohol. Indulging in a little bit of alcohol where it gives you a little bit of tipsy and you're enjoying the time is okay. You drink to a point where your mind is completely gone, beyond measurement, and you start falling into the gutter and, beating everyone you see on the road. Now that's a problem. So you need to know, if you want to enjoy, but you need to know how to enjoy. And enjoying is important. Like I said, the bodhisattvas, when they are in the world helping others, they are not suffering helping others. They're enjoying helping others. And that's what makes the journey count. Is enjoyment. So go, explore, understand, embrace. It's okay. But embrace with, in words is samaya. Embrace with, what is the word? Morality, that's the word. Enjoy, but enjoy with morality. Enjoy, but enjoy with wisdom. These are you need to apply. Buddhism doesn't stop you from enjoying. Doesn't. It's teaching you how to enjoy even more while on the path. So I think that's an aspect that we need to understand when it comes to practice of the Dharma, is that you need to enjoy practicing. You can't put yourself cooped up, block all the doors, shut every window, stay cooped up and expect yourself to develop by practicing. If you're not enjoying, development is not going to be there. And even if there is some development, what's the point? Your whole life you're cooped up, even though you don't want to be cooped up, you're cooped up. And at the end of the day, you're going to get mental problems. Because there's going to be a lot of self-blaming. Why did this? Why did not that? Why that? Why this? So what's the point then? So when you make decision thoughtfully. That's the important part, that you think before you decide. If you don't think before you decide and you do something for the sake of doing it, and at the end of the day you don't enjoy doing it, what do you think you're going to do to yourself? All the blame, all that, I should have done this, no, maybe that, guilt, how do I face that, how do I face this? So all created inside up here, right? So that's what I believe in. You want to go follow the path, then learn to enjoy the path first. You want to follow a practice, learn to enjoy the practice first. Then only your practice becomes more fruitful. If you don't learn to enjoy the practice and you do it because someone tells you to do it and because of the benefit, then first of all the intention is not right. Okay? Practice is not in order to, you're feeding the self-grasping attitude. I want to get enlightened, I want to benefit, I want to develop this, I want to be known for this, I want to be known for doing 100,000 million, such as this. You're feeding your own ego. So when you're doing practice, you need to learn to enjoy the practice. I tell you my own experience story. First time I did High Griva in Serra, right? First time I did High Griva in Serra, it was 12 days, I think. Right? 12 days. 10 days? Now 10 days. Before when I did, it was 12 days. And it was horrible. I didn't enjoy it. My legs hurt, my back hurt. Sessions are too long, have to get up. Then everyone's reciting, your ear is like, right? And then in the middle when there's break, then the Girgula gives a speech. And the speech goes on and on and on and on. You are like, right? Then after the Girgu is finished, then the Kempo gives a speech. Then the Kempo goes on and on and on. And it's not anything new. They just, put new words and repeat the same thing over and over and over. And you're sitting there like, that's when you don't enjoy the practice. It's not worth it. I'm creating more negativity. I see the Gegu, I'm like, what kind of guy is this? Doesn't he have any, what is it, what a color?
Common sense.
Common sense? Feet hurting, back hurting, no that, no this. Then cannot talk, okay? It's not like here we laugh, talk, not like this, okay? They're just two chapri laga like that. Secondary discipliner. Assistant discipliner. They walk around with this whip that is this long, okay? Not a joke. Yeah. No stick, whip, leather whip.
There's a law against that in most countries.
Nowadays. not in the early days. But this is not. I'm not sharing this for you to give this idea of wow, what a horrible place. No. This is not the idea I'm trying to give you. Now, later on, once you start relaxing, those days I was not relaxed. I was very mentally also. I had some anger issues. I was very, teenage times. But later on, you relax your mind. You come, you sit down. You focus on reciting the mantra. And then after that, I think 1 year, I had no choice, but it was always trying to escape that yeah. Everyone is there. Not everyone, I'm sorry. But like most of us, we were like, okay, Molam starts, not Molam. The retreat. Yeah. High River retreat starts from here to here. Where can I escape? What date? Maybe if I cut my ticket before the High River retreat starts, maybe I'll get an exception to not attend. All deluded thoughts we had. But then later on, few years we had no choice but to attend. So I took a deep breath, we went in, we sat down, and we learned to enjoy it. And after that, I think one time we did Dunanyi Ra, Dunanyi students. Dunanyi Ra, Nimajungi. Yeah, so 12 days, you sit down and breathe. Okay, I'm going to do my best. If there are some sessions that I can't attend, I won't attend. I'm not going to push myself. But when I do it, I'm going to enjoy it. Wow, everything changes. And then the focus also changes, the concept also changes. And then while doing the puja, you have the book in front of you, and it's so uplifting. So, you're doing, before when you hear the chanting and then you hear the cymbals and the yelling, it's irritating. But later on you learn to actually, once you go with the flow, yeah, you're actually in the beat. You're like, yeah, they're starting to... No, it happens, right? Yeah. Yes, then you get into the beat. And when you're chanting, you actually enjoy it. So this is just an example that I'm giving from my own experience. So similarly, when it comes to practice, before going into a practice, you need to learn to enjoy it. And the way you learn to enjoy it is to be inspired by it. What do I get out of the practice? What comes from the practice? Where will I reach with that practice? What will I develop with that practice? What is the goal in that practice? It's not finish mantra. Like I said, finishing mantra, nowadays you can have a tape record and then you can just play it. Finish mantra. Yeah? In early days when they used to print, when they had no written, they had to carve and then put ink and print. Those times the mantras were like this big. So a money like that had just a few thousand mantras. Because you had to print it, it's like huge mantras. They didn't have those. Then later on came with a pen, and then the mantra from this big became this big. Now you can have more mantras in the prayer wheel. And now with technology, we are going down to microscopic, what is it? Nano microscopic mantras. Yeah? And then so much now. You turn one turn, wow! So the amount of merit that you can create right now is, you're like a bodhisattva and a Arya being at the moment. The early days they were Arya beings, now we are bodhisattvas. Early days they were Arya beings because one turn they only did 1,000 mantras. Now you do one turn, how much is it? 1 trillion. Yeah, 100 trillion.
What?
100 trillion.
100 trillion, 1 ton.
And then 150 million paper.
Is this one? Is this the prayer wheel here?
Not a prayer wheel coming.
And what about this one?
I think
Old school.
nobody knows.
Namjoon's got
So 100.
how many in your little?
10.8 billion.
He's got 10 in his little.
See? So 10.1 billion, 10.1 billion, 10.1 billion. So that's why I'm saying the ability with our technology and with the conditions that we have right now, it's not easy. It's quite easy to. So the next step is to be inspired, but inspired by what you receive from those practices. Yeah, what you can change with those practices, how you can change with those practices, where you can apply those practices. So these are important points right now. Yeah, like we talked a few days ago. Comparatively nowadays, merit you can create very easily. Lots and lots and lots and lots of merit. And looking at your situation right now, yeah, having the merit to create, what we say, to turn one wheel and be able to receive, what we say, mantra, 1 trillion mantra in one turn. That takes a lot of merit. See, so we have the merit. It's time to work inside. Forget about the merit a little bit and start digging inside and working inside. So I think most importantly, if you enjoy the path becomes a very enjoyable path. If you don't enjoy the path, then there's no point. Other than collecting merit, there's no point. And collecting merit, you don't even have to be a Buddhist. You can, give a kid a toy, say, okay, turn it like this, and he will start turning. Yeah. Rinpoche does that a lot. He takes the bug and turns around. 1 trillion, 2 trillion, 3 trillion, 4 trillion, 5 trillion. Yeah, see? But as human beings, we need to learn to enjoy the path before we proceed on the path.
Coming back to Nikoji's question, connect the rabbit to the leg. I think people can hear me. So coming back to Nikoji's question, surely as someone with compassion and a bodhisattva, you can't wait for a young person to find some event in their life which begins to transform them. Especially nowadays when things are getting more and more fast and more difficult, and young people I think more and more desperate in some way, although on the outside it may look like they're enjoying, but they're not. So don't you think we need to, as much as possible, be trying to find ways like being a good role model? I mean, people are affected by role models, right? That's why people have film heroes and so forth. So we need to use film, we need to use drama, need to use rap, whatever it is. Shouldn't we be trying our best? I mean, if we just wait for people to find, my mother dies when they're, okay, now I'm a bit interested in that. The mother may not die till that person is 50 or 60, and they may not get to that age. So surely the bodhisattva inclined person, someone who's trying to be a bit Mahayana, they will want to find ways to wake up people who are just, so involved in meaninglessness. We have to do more than just wait, don't you think, Rinpoche?
No, the thing is, I think the approach is a little bit different regarding a bodhisattva and regarding my approach. I'm not a bodhisattva. I think the means when we read the texts and the scriptures, the means that people have applied in order to bring people into the Dharma is countless, right? There's so much means. And it's not just the people in those days, even nowadays, like I said, there are people who do Hat Sutra, rapping Hat Sutra. There are people who do film and all of that regarding Buddha and Dharma and Sangha and all of that. There are, teachings, like I said, when you look on YouTube, you find just write teaching on Lamrim, you'll find thousands and thousands of teachings. From all aspects of different traditions, from different lamas, from different that, from different this. So all I'm saying is not limited. It's there. Yeah, it's already there. We have singers who are nuns, right? And they sing about compassion and this. It's there. Yeah, they all kinds of lamas. Like I said, we go a little bit too extreme, and now they're giving tantric initiations here and there and all over the place. Like it's available. Like it's like throwing like this. So we are going a little bit too extreme sometimes, just to attract, just to attract people. Means that were not meant to be, flung like that. We are, overusing those means to also. So all I'm saying is the limiter is not there, right? If you give a teenager a phone and you say, okay, do you want to watch, I don't know, someone dancing on TikTok, or you want to watch His Holiness, that boy is certainly 100% going for the TikTok, right? And that mindset we cannot change like this. The wanting needs to be inspired and listen to Holiness has to come from himself. I can't go there and say, it's like there's many examples of take for example the Sixth Holiness, the Dalai Lama, or any other a lot of monks as well nowadays. The family forced them into monkhood at when they are very young age. It's supposed to bring them on a good path. It's not because they hate them or anything like that, but because the decision doesn't come from the monk. When they reach their teenagers, they go. So these things happen, right? We trying to give people the opportunity to to be attracted to Dharma. We are trying that. We are building stupas here, stupas there, initiation here, initiation there, course here, course there. It's thousands and thousands of that. Yeah, just in Nepal there's over just not in Nepal, just in Kathmandu itself there's around the area around Kathmandu, they say there's around 1,800 something monasteries.
Yeah. Wow. It's amazing, really.
16,000 stupas.
Yeah, 16,000 stupas. Why do you think people doing that? It's for inspiring people. It's for capturing their, wows and wonders and that and this. But, like I said, everything is a choice. You can't play with choice. Yeah, you can't play with someone's choice. Yeah? If someone doesn't want to practice bodhicitta, he won't. You can't force him to practice bodhicitta. Now the best you can do is inspire him to practice bodhicitta. That's what you are talking about, right? Inspiration. And that's why I said, in order to inspire someone, you need to be inspired. If you yourself not inspired, how are you going to inspire someone? Now, if you have that inspiration and you have that wisdom and you have the practice, then like Kyabje Lama Tutin Soparimbuche, wow, just watching you get inspired. But someone like myself who has nothing, you need to rely on people to actually, slowly take steps. So that's what I meant. It's not that oh, you don't do anything, you let them figure it out. It's not in that sense. But you need for people to be inspired to take the choice. And that comes a lot, most of the time. That's what I said, not always, but most of the time it comes from that, that that shakiness inside, right? So if if a teenager has a problem, then comes to me, I say, okay, in Dharma, there is this method. Maybe you can, research it and see and practice, and maybe it will work out. That's how I capture them, right? They try, it works, they're happy. They say, okay, I want to know more about it. That's how it works. But if the person doesn't have any problems at all and is not searching for any solution, I can't go to him and say, oh, you're going to suffer and you're going to need a solution and I have this. That's a little bit harder.
And of course, education plays such a major role.
Yes, yes.
But that's very difficult because we have syllabus.
Yes.
But we don't have people who can teach it.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the
So
sad thing.
systematic syllabus that have been created to, to make the materialistic world go around is set in such a way where where the benefit is focused on capitalizing. Capitalist. This is a concept, capitalist concept. So when you have that and you are teaching a small kid at 4 years old, oh, you need to make money, you need to focus your life on career, and the more money you make, the better life you would have. When you are teaching someone 5 years old like that, then the focus is going to be on that side, right? So they are trying to introduce meditation, SEE learning and all of that, and they're trying to introduce these things. And now they start to see the importance of it, and they're trying to. And like I said, that's why I said it's not that no one's trying to. Everyone's trying to. They're trying to in their own ways. Yeah, some creating music, some creating videos, some creating that, some creating. They're trying in their own ways. But how successful they are, it definitely makes a difference in a lot of people's life. But if you're looking at a global aspect, then 1-2% maybe.
Even if we reach 1 or 2%, Rinpoche, that would be amazing.
Yes.
1 or 2% is amazing.
Yes.
Right now it's 0.0001 or whatever.
Yes.
Or else,
I get it. So I think the aspect of how hard people are trying, I always believe in balance. That's one of my main core things that I focus on when it comes to anything. And even when it comes to spreading Dharma and teaching Dharma, I always think about balance. You don't overdo it. Yeah, when you overdo it, then there can be problems. So you need the balance. Yeah.
Hi Rinpoche, I was just wondering, do you think there's any room for, psychedelics, ayahuasca, to soften the mind, from the weapons of mass distraction? People going off and experimenting with different types of psychedelic retreats, which maybe opens them up to a spiritual adventure.
What's psychedelic?
Like LSD,
Magic mushrooms.
microdosing's pretty popular.
Magic mushroom?
Yeah, people use it for neurological, problems, anxiety, depression. LSD.
What's LSD? Huh?
It's a chemical you take that changes the way you experience and see the world while you're on it.
These are people who are in hospices who are dying. They give them particular doses to soften the blow of their anxiety as they're dying.
So you want to what?
Take drugs.
Take drugs.
They do it in the traditional way.
Yeah.
In a controlled manner.
Yeah. Two.
What is the
Small doses.
Yeah. To do what?
To open
To
the
enjoy?
To open the mind.
To provoke the wake-up call.
Expand the mind.
Yeah,
True.
because
Well,
the
we-
wake-up call.
when people get into their 20s after their teenage time of being, you know, caught up in the material world, when they're caught up in the material world, that's sometimes when they go seeking those shamanic kind of journeys where they want to open their mind up to a more psychedelic, holographic reality.
It's a good method, but there's a problem with it.
Ah,
The problem is habituation and addiction.
right.
Right? If you depend once to open your mind, if you depend once to open your mind on a drug, then the second time you want to, because it's easier, you don't have to sit like this and do it. It's easier because you just go and you start off. So the second time, third time, fourth time, then you will never want to do this. You would always want to do that because it's a fast way out. So there are experiences, especially in the God realm, especially also inside the Hindu tradition, that they use cannabis, right? Cannabis to open, different chakras inside the mind. It's been done. There's a lot of practices like that when it comes to spirituality. But how reliable they are it's a very shaky platform. One reason is because of the addiction. So then, they rely on cannabis every day. And they're, half awake, half asleep all the time. And that's diluting the mind even more in some ways, right? It opens certain channels, yes, but it's diluting the mind even more. Yeah, the ignorance level becomes, of course we have ignorance in our mind, but when you are on that, the ignorance level goes even higher. So there are, now if you're talking like the example that you gave, when someone is someone is about to die, and there's fear and anxiety, and you start screaming and shouting. Now in those cases, you can use to calm the mind down. And it's good to do that. Because you don't want someone suffering and, dying out of fear and, all of that. So certain places and aspects, there is some use. But if you are well, healthy, and capable of doing, opening your chakras or your mind through meditation, then you should do that and not depend on chemical enhancement. Psychedelics. So that would be my, my view on it.
Some drugs going around there. White powder.
Oh, it's for me. Thank you.
Try some before you play side.
I'm closing on.
See how this goes with the shit.
Matrix chocolate.
Wow,
I love the wall.
Oh dear.
So I think, yeah.
I think ultimately though, Rinpoche, what I've found, it's all a dead end.
Question here.
It's a dead end, yeah.
All a dead end.
Yes.
Dejen, there's a question here.
Huh?
I wasn't asking a question.
Yes. Go ahead. Good one.
You behave.
No. I think it makes sense to come to conclusion that you have experienced it, tried it in the past. No, it's experience. That's the thing, right? A lot of young people don't understand it because they don't have experience. So when you have someone who has tried it, who has gone through it, who has tasted it, who has seen the result in it, and they say it's a dead end, it's a dead end. Makes sense? No, I'm kidding. Of course. Yeah, of course. Anxiety. Yes, please.
I have so many questions, but one is I feel like an ongoing contemplation is the words mind and heart, and I feel in my own like my resonance with the word heart and the way that it opens different places in myself, and then also observing in the West, like it seems like we have a different relationship with the word mind and heart, and I'm just curious if you contemplated or those words in particular.
I think this is just words you use to color dila. Words you use to express certain things. When we say heart, it's a essential part of our body, a very, very essential part of our body, right? You can live without one kidney, you can live without a hand, you can live without eye, you can live without ears, you can live without nose, but without a heart, it's like the pump. Right? Without the pump, it's hard to. So that's why the importance is given there. So when you are being attacked, it's either this or it's either this. These are the two essential parts of the body that we need to protect. And people feel that when it comes to love, when it comes to, what is the word? Deep feelings like sadness, like, essential feelings like that, then you think it has something to do with the heart. If you fall in love with a guy, you say, oh, that guy is my heart. It's a way of expressing, no? In reality, I mean, unless you go into like the mind-only school and, some other schools, they have this debate that certain aspects of the mind exist in all different parts of our body. Like every cell has its own, mind sort of thing. They have that perspective. But if you go to the Prasangika Madhyamika, so if you go into Prasangika Madhyamika concept, that doesn't exist. It's the mind, the soul mind. So there are different aspects that you can actually learn and understand and study about it. But I believe that the reason why we say heart is a representation of how important it is to us. Yeah, that's why we say feelings. When it comes to feelings, feel from your heart. You don't say feel from your brain, right? So,
from the bottom.
From the bottom of, and is also in Tibetan. I don't know how this, but in Tibetan they say nyingi tsulu ting ne. It's like within the what tsulu la kala. Let's translate it. Tsulu. Nyingi rubeting ne. Core bone. Yeah, core. There's the core bone inside our heart, from the depth of the core bone from our heart. So it's an expression we use to express importance. But in reality, it's the mind. It comes from the mind. Yeah, you can replace your heart with an artificial pumping machine nowadays, and you will have the same feeling. It has nothing to do with the heart. Does it make sense? So it's a way of expression because it's important. Oh, she's my heart, he's my heart. Oh, I have 3 kittens and they're my heart. It's a way of expression. Not for what happened? Yeah, some say that, oh, I have 2 puppies and there's a heart in my heart there. So I believe it's an expression because of the importance that you give it. And when it comes to love, expression of love, like regret, like sadness, like, inner feelings. Yeah, that's why, again, the inner thing is there. That's expressing the importance of it. So when it comes to these things, it's like a labeling sort of thing. You're labeling something based on, when it comes to labeling, so based on many different, what do we say, characteristics, definite methods and systems. You have you have the name of the cause given to the name of the condition. You have conditions names given to the cause. All of these kinds of different naming. So the reason why the heart is used is because of that. Then again the second was what? The brain or the mind?
The mind, and I guess there's this reflection, like especially back home, there's this observation of it's almost the interpretation of the word mind that is equal to like intellect, that feels devoid, or like an absence of warmth, an absence of wisdom, an absence of where it's like the interpretation of the word mind is a kind of like more equal to knowledge or intellect, and I feel it differently when you use the word mind. I feel that it might also be inclusive of warmth and wisdom. Like it does have different qualities.
So that one totally depend on how you want to perceive it. Like I said, in certain cultures, just because the heart is important, so that's why the feelings are given to the heart, and just because brain is used to to do math and calculations and all of those things, therefore when it comes.
Just taking some coke.
Okay, no. Too hot. You are experiencing suffering of change. In your underwear. Sunbathing. So yeah, I mean, like I said, you can look at it from different aspects, but if you want to look at it logically, then the example that I gave is you can still feel all of the feelings that you say are from your heart without a heart. Yeah. And then you said, oh, the mind has to do with logic, the brain has to do with logic and reasoning. And you can be alive and be brain dead. Where's the logic now? Gone. Right? But you're alive. No, there's cases like that. There are people who are brain dead, whose brain doesn't function at all. There's no more path activity, neuro creations in the brain. It's basically, even if you cut the skull and take it out, the person will still be living. So there are cases like that. So when you take the brain out and the heart out, what else you want to take out? The person is still alive. There's liveliness there. There's warmth. Or you would have to believe that a brain dead person is dead. Or a person who got his heart replaced with a machine is no more alive. So this something you figure out. You can think about it. How they explain it, I think that's why I'm saying the explanation seems to come from, from giving names based on relativity, right? The importance. And that's what we do, right? When you have your child, you say, oh, this is my heart. This child is my, my soul, my whatever. So it's a way of naming only, I think. I don't know. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
What time you want to stop? Huh? No, please.
I'm fascinated by what you're holding, as in you stepped out of the tradition and you're following your heart, so you're being true to yourself. How did you come to this choice of when you were at Sarah, or after you left Sarah, to walk without the roads and stay true to what you're sharing in these days about staying relaxed, maybe taking a step back, and how that emerged in you. Because I feel there's a lot that you're saying that's very inspiring about that there's only one way to discover the path, which is kind of you. For me, when I feel you, it's pathless. There's no path. It's this unfolding of you staying true to yourself. So how did that emerge in you?
How did what emerge?
This letting go of taking off this robe of being like in a way like a Rinpoche and just wearing the everyday clothes and walking in a way which is very accessible, very open, very down to earth, and what you faced in yourself to come to that choice, which in many ways, like for me, taking a step back means that you're taking a step towards yourself, which is outside of a frame or outside of a tradition.
Yes. Like I said, life is beautiful because of choices. And choices don't come from others, comes from within yourself. You want to do practice, you choose to do practice. If you don't want to do practice, don't choose to do practice. Doesn't affect anyone, doesn't harm anyone, it has nothing to do with anyone else. Your path is your path. Yeah? Your ability to rely on yourself to take your path is also based on yourself, it's not on others. The more independent when it comes to practice, the more independent you become, the better you are able to understand things. Of course, you need to rely on the Guru and the Dharma and the Sangha, but other than that, what someone thinks of me has nothing to do with me. Yeah, what if someone thinks that I'm, this guy who disturbed and who's completely, now because he's out of the tradition, he's totally useless, fine. That's his, he has the right to take the choice to decide to see it in that way. And when he wants to see it in that way, that's how he will see it. I can't change that. Yeah. But then what I can change is like I said, karma, whether it be condition, whether it be, cause, whichever part of karma it is, it's in your hand and you change it. You make the differences. You make the shape. You create the, what is the form. You create your path. Yeah. So, for me, I'm very chill. I'm very relaxed. I hardly care about anything else other than, myself. So when you care about yourself so much, then you want to give yourself the best choices in life. And when you start contemplating, then you start to see, yes, these are the best choices in life. Yeah, when it comes to tradition, I'm not now because I'm out of the the Lama, system and all of that, and the monastic system, I'm more free than before. Before I go to somewhere, I need to ask 10, 20 people for permission. Oh, can I go? Some say, no, you can't go. Some say, yes, you can go. Some say, oh, you can only go after you finish this. Some say, you can only go after this time. So many, considerations that I have to depend on. Now, of course, now I have my own path to take and I have my own problems and my own things, yes. But other than that, when it comes to... Another thing I'm not very good at handling is politics. And I think people who are in Buddhism for quite a long time, they know that there's quite an amount of politics in Buddhism. I've always avoided all those politics, I've tried to avoid trying to link myself with all of these, different things because of the, the things that go. I cannot handle those things. And to be connected with those things, you need to be either someone, a very, very, very hardcore practitioner to not be harmed by those. For someone as fragile as me, I get very easily, So when someone comes and, takes advantage of Lama Zopa Rinpoche's kindness, then I'm like, oh, Right? It happens very naturally. So to be a practitioner is not easy. And because I'm not a practitioner, it's easier for me to take this path in some ways. Huh? Yeah, it's quite fair. I try to make it as fair as possible. But I don't shun away. If people believe that I have something to give, then and they come, then I try to give it. Whether I have it or not, I try to give it. That's my own practice. Not even practice, that's me trying to practice in some ways. But other than that, why would I be bothered about what people think, what people believe in? Why should I go under culture, under rules, under regulation, under that, under this, just to serve a community that, that has all these strings attached to it?
Yeah.
If you are true to yourself and you are thinking about Dharma, you benefit you play your part without having to be enlisted in all of those. You can do that, not undoable. And then, like I said, again, another thing is I'm not traditional, neither am I cultural. And I'm very focused on contemplation, I'm very focused on philosophical views. And from the philosophical perspective, if you really think about practice, then you need to avoid those things in a lot of cases. Right?
That's also a way to be a practitioner.
Yeah. Slowly. One step at a time. And I think, not to say that I'm any saint or anything like that, but a lot of the previous practitioners, if you look, not in the modern day, okay, modern day is all about big name, big center, big that, a lot of students. But in the olden days, if you look at Milarepa and all of that, it was about escaping to a place where you had your own comfort and your own time and your own, space to practice and to work with yourself in order to develop yourself so that you can be of help to others. Not that I'm doing anything like that, but, at least the escaping part I'm doing. The practice part is not there, the retreat and that is not there, but the escaping part, I'm a little bit good at doing that. Yeah. Huh? Okay? Answered?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. You want more fridge? You want to open? No. Soldier chef.
Result of true practitioners.
I've got a question if nobody else has.
Yes.
This could be a curveball.
Yes.
Is
I can dodge, so I have a choice to dodge, so don't worry.
Second, this is held in our PhD retreat prayer book, and it's on blessing the speech. And the visualization goes, first purify the truly existent I in emptiness, as it is empty in reality. The wisdom seeing emptiness then experiences infinite bliss. You can also think that the wisdom experiencing bliss is non-dual with emptiness. Like,
Can you read again one more time? Slowly.
so, first purify the truly existent I in emptiness, as it is empty in reality. The wisdom seeing emptiness then experiences infinite bliss.
Which is empty.
Yes, you can also think that the wisdom experiencing bliss is non-dual with emptiness. And this is a visualization, Rinpoche.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What am I meant to be doing here? I mean, beautiful words.
Yeah. Yes, you give me a book.
Oh, yeah. I've got it there in writing. That might be more helpful.
Thank you. This one?
Yeah, the highlighted one, yeah.
So, I think we come back to the perspective applicable to each and everything, which is the view of emptiness. It's a perspective, it's a view. Understanding that, where do you go? Understanding that that the truly existing I is merely labeled. And it's labeled based on the concept that I have of me. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when I have my own view of who I am, and I understand that truly, that truly the view that I have on myself does not exist, that is applying the view of emptiness on the perspective of I. First step, okay? Then comes the concept of reality, right? Purifying can be done, but purifying in what way? What does purifying mean to you? Yeah, you think purifying means, me purifying means me getting rid of my negative karma? Then you already start labeling the I and the my there. Right? So application of the me and the my, when it's already there, then the purification that you are supposed to experience is also of a diluted view, which is through the concept of the grasping I. So you need to understand that the true reality of that is also that it is inherent of existence. Intrinsic existence, inherent of existence? Inherent of existence. Yeah? Now you've gone past 2. So as it is empty in reality, right? So that you don't have the differentiation between what to purify, what is to purify, what I think is to purify. Totally different parts. Purify can be anything. Purify can be purifying negativity in reality. Because negativity exists. But our view of negativity always has something to do with me or my or someone else's. Dada da giwa, we say, right? So, understanding the reality of that stops you from having the view that the visualization of purification is coming from a diluted view. So therefore the reality is important. So that's the second step. The wisdom seeing emptiness then experiences infinite bliss. So by doing that you have an experience. Right? What experience do you have? By your ability to see the purification which is empty from its own side, and the existence which is empty from its own side, and the I which is empty from its own side. When you are able to see that as true reality, then there is no lingering between the purification and the I and the existent. Right? The problem comes when you are purifying, but you are purifying on the basis of my. Because when you say my, then comes how much. Right? When you say how much, then you comes how hard. When comes how hard, then comes how long. Right? But when you say the true reality of it, then those things don't exist. Yeah, when the I disappears, the how long, how hard, how, that this is why the concept of, of practitioners like Lama Zopa don't have those my, me, how, when, where, what time we are going, how far is it, or they don't have that concept. Because all of that is gone. So that's the true reality you start to see. Yeah, so the 3 points, purify, truly, and the I, being inherent of its own existence from its own side, in reality, not just from the view, but in reality. That gives you a total different way to think of purification. And that gives you bliss, because now you don't have to start asking questions, how, when I'm purifying, how much am I purifying, do I have to work on purifying more, or that, or this, or all of this. You don't have to worry about all of this. So there's bliss. And then when you see that the I is merely label and it doesn't exist from its own side, it doesn't exist, based on the intrinsic nature of its own side, then you understand that it's merely a concept that you applied, the concept of me. So that one also disappears. So now when you don't have anything else to worry about, what do you call it? You call it bliss. But then there's a problem. When you indulge in pleasure, you get attached. So then comes the third word. You can also think that the wisdom experiencing bliss is non-dual with emptiness. It's inseparable from the view of emptiness. Therefore, the eye, the nose, the mouth, the body, all forms, everything is merely labeled. Now make a little bit more sense?
It's amazing.
So it was a bit of a curveball.
Huh?
I said it was a bit of a curveball.
No, that's quite easy. Curveball means hard, or what does it mean?
Sorry?
Curveball.
They play baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball. Well, a curveball is when they throw it in, it curves like that. And so the person hitting the ball misses because it's curved.
Okay. Did I miss?
No, and that's why you did it. Yeah, home run. You got
Thank
home
you. That's good. This is a good theory and good concept to apply when you are practicing to understand the true nature of reality. Yeah, because everything we were talking about it this morning and yesterday evening, everything that you are able to include into the application of the view of the view of emptiness, if you are able to pinpoint them down, then you understand that the reality again is not reality. Because the reality you understand from what is, that it's not from how you see, but existence from its own side. But then you think, okay, but that's my view. Right? That's my view of the thing. That's how I see it. So then comes the concept of tongpanyi. Emptiness itself being empty. Something like that. Yeah, I think we did quite well so far. So you stop? Yeah? Okay. So I think important thing, I have been blabbering for the last 3 days. Some make sense, some don't make sense, some my own opinion, some, from a little bit of understanding and a little bit of study of my past, in Sarah and debate and all of that. So it's a combination of all of that. But at the end of the day, it's for every individual you need to understand, practice what practice is to you, and what matters to you, and how you want to practice. And the second step, like I said, is to enjoy the practice. Unless you are enjoying, there's no fun in it. And if there's no fun in it, you don't get results. Okay, you only get results when you're having fun, when you enjoy. So that, and through your experience, throughout the valley, throughout our journey with Venerable Kalden, and all together, we all coming together as I think we have created some kind of karmic bond there, whether you like it or not. But we have created some bond, and you need to, as Dharma, as when it comes to learning Dharma and practicing and creating bonds when regarding to Dharma, we say kyab to be datok. How do you say kyab to be datok?
Like the companions that help us accomplish refuge.
A companion that helps accomplish refuge. Yeah. So that's the bond that we have created. So being kind to each other, being understanding to each other, learning that your practice, if not to all sentient beings, then the sentient being within this room, that's very important. So learn to be kinder, learn to be more embracing, more accepting. There has to be more love. We don't want, if you think there's something wrong in the group, here, there, then outside for sure you can't avoid. Right? So you need to, we have that bond. That's why I'm saying it's precious. That bond is precious. It's precious in helping us to practice. It's precious in helping us to take one step further in our practice. So keep that bond, is important. Then, of course, with all of the knowledge you have gained through, not through me talking, but through your experience throughout the valley and meeting amazing people like Anila and Thamir Rinpoche and all the people we have met around on the road. You need to take those experiences in and let it sink in. You learn so much from those things. So that's another thing. And then the normal dedication, again, I didn't do much prayers, but all of you have done, so same. They say if you rejoice in someone else praying, then I get the same merit. So I'm going to take that. Yeah, I get double. So I take that and then I dedicate, and maybe I get triple. So anyway, so thank you all for for making this journey beautiful. I enjoyed a lot, and like I said, through all of your dedication, my main dedication would be for our return of our Charok Lama, of course. Then of course Anila and the people around her, they need as much help and support from us as we can, so we should definitely do that. And then of course through our journey, whoever we have met, whoever has impacted us, whoever has taught us, whatever we have learned, you dedicate to their long life, their health, wealth, happiness, all of that. It's important. And then of course throughout our journey, I think the most essential part is the practice part. So I'm sure you have been practicing, and through your practice, next time you come down to Kathmandu and you look at yourself, you see yourself a little bit more kinder, a little bit more caring, a little bit more embracing, a little bit more patient, a little bit more generosity. It's really important. Just think about the 10 aspects of the paramita and apply it. Even if there's a little bit change there, that has to come.
You spend so much money, you have walked, spent so much energy, walked all the way up here, and if there's no change, then what is what's the point? So a little bit of change, yeah. Then I hope that I've given you enough things to contemplate on, and please keep on contemplating. More questions, more answers. Yeah, like I said, the more you are willing to learn, the more you start learning. So that's an important part of your practice also. And then also be kinder, not just to others around you, but to yourself as well. Yeah, be kinder, more gentle to yourself. And you need to see your inner child. You need to look at your mind like your own child, and through that, you start working on yourself. One step at a time. No rush. There's no rush. Yeah, there's two ways of practice. One is there's no time. You need to do now. That's one way of practicing. If that's the right method to practice, then please be my guest and go ahead. But my method is more like, okay, we still have time. We are still children, even though some of our bodies are aging. Still mentally we have children, so we have time. Take one step at a time. But don't forget to breathe. You need to breathe. Air is important. So similarly, take your time and practice in that manner. It's important. Yeah, and I think that's where the most love is developed, and that can be the source of your developing compassion in the future. Start from there. So again, another thing, thanks to Venerable Anikato, Anisera, and thanks to our Inji Gegula here. She has been maintaining everything. It's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy to herd a herd of cows that all the time. Yeah. A herd of people who has been given the idea that they have their own choices. Yeah, wandering around. Then of course the effort of Nimatashi, you need to, all of you please thank him for his effort. He has put a lot of effort in it, and it's really, really amazing that we only have one person who hasn't made it up here. It's really mind-blowing actually. Yeah, any trip, it's at least, if we have 10 people, it's at least 3 people. If we have 20 people, it's at least, I think, 5 people, 6 people. So this is quite an achievement, and thanks to Nimala. And then of course thanks to all the people that have helped us on the journey here. And so please don't forget to make your dedications, like I said, the circle of dedication wider when it comes to that. Then those who have the intention to develop bodhicitta and proceed into the Mahayana path, then you need to extend even further than that, and include all mother sentient beings, all beings of the 6 realms, and then also including including the Gyawa Hell beings. Gyawa.
Oh, Gyawa. Virtue.
Virtue.
Very close.
So virtue of not just us in this room creating on this journey, but virtue of all the the past, present, and future Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. You take those virtues as well, and then you dedicate it to all sentient beings. This is how you expand, and this is the expansion you need to practice. So those who want to develop, want to have the the mindset to capture the concept of renunciation, bodhicitta, and emptiness. You dedicate in that manner, right? Not just yours or the whole groups, not just the whole groups, but the what's that? Virtue of all the past, present, and future Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and everyone. You collect all of those merits and then dedicate it not just for you, not just for the people in your family and the important people in your house, but you expand it throughout all the universes and all beings of the 6 realms. So that's an important part. And then, yeah, like my request, after doing this journey, hopefully we become a little bit more kinder, a little bit more simpler, yeah, a little bit more embracing. Mind is more open, heart is more open, and we use what we have understood and studied in our life, applying every moment, every second, every day, every night. And that's how you flourish. Ninze meba tadu, also ninze meba ta ninze kundu tarbo tengelo, ani chuna dijingi jingi bayins. Ra. It's a night and day. Yeah, day and night. So when you are able to establish that concept, dedication, then the willingness, the eagerness, the joy to practice in that manner becomes so strong that you actually enjoy doing it. You don't want to sleep. You don't. Yeah, you know, we have this example of when you're enjoying a book, a story book, Harry Potter, a lot of the things you're enjoying, then you need to go to the pee, but you're thinking, I'll finish 1 page and then I'll go. Yeah? You see that? Or when you're watching a series, a movie, when it's so interesting, right? It's time to sleep, but you're going, I'll watch 1 more series and then I'll go to sleep. And this is the feeling you need inside. The eagerness, the joy, the wantingness inside when you're practicing. And that's how you flourish. So that's the dedication. Long life to all our gurus, all the Buddhas, all the Dharmas, all the Sanghas, yeah, all the practitioners, everyone. And who's doing dedication?
I was going to ask maybe for each person to say something that they are grateful for or something like that. What do you think about that?
You can.
Yeah?
You want to?
I think, yeah.
You want to or no?
My suggestion would be that each of us can just say something that we are grateful for during this trip. Just very simple, I think that so we can have that.
It depends. I think it's choice. You want to? You don't want to? Up to you.
Yes.
If you don't want to.
There's no pressure. If you feel like doing, you can do. But I think first we do dedication. Anila, please do dedication.
You already did such a beautiful.
No, my dedication is very, very simple. Like I said, I like things simple, but extended dedication. Yeah.
So I know we are all hot, and she has already done a beautiful dedication, but I'll do my best. So we dedicate the 3-time merits of ourselves and others for the following 12 points. To take at least 1 line, word, or phrase that Rinpoche has shared with us into our everyday lives. So just take a few minutes to see what really resonated to you. Rinpoche has this unique ability of taking traditional teachings and explaining it such a way that it really hits home. So what hit home for you? And keep that in your heart so that when we go back to our comforts, besides coffee and a hot shower, we keep that with us in our hearts. And then, of course, Rinpoche has thanked everybody else but himself. So I would like to take this opportunity to really dedicate all these merits to the long, healthy, stable life of Charok Rinpoche. He manifests as a Sherpa kid who's maybe 16 years old. But as you can see, his wisdom and his compassion is so immense. I mean, we could see that maybe he is a manifestation of Manjushri, who's come in this form to really help us along this path. So we dedicate to his long, healthy life, and that we never be separated from him in this and future lives, and continue to retain his wisdom in our hearts. And then, of course, for the long, healthy lives of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and all other teachers who have patiently continued to teach us. And as Rinpoche says, we have all the conditions, so what is stopping us from actually transforming our minds? So we dedicate to making the effort, to doing everything possible in order to be consistent, stable, reliable, and resilient with our practice so that we can actually make use of this precious human life. And then, of course, most importantly, this whole trip was about Kyabje Lama Zopa Rinpoche's swift return. And we dedicate that he be born in a family where he gets all the support he needs. And we all had the good fortune to continue to receive teachings from him, to follow his instructions, and for him to be able to continue to benefit sentient beings in the amazing way he has done in his previous lives. And then for the long, healthy, stable lives of Ani Samtengla, who is, again, as Rinpoche has said, she's a manifestation of wisdom and compassion in action, and really, really has touched our heart, and it's because of her kindness and her dedication to the Dharma that we have had this opportunity to be here in Lawudo. So for her, as Rinpoche said, to continue to receive the support, to continue Rinpoche's vision, and for FBMT to grow and flourish. And for Ani Sultram's long, healthy, stable life, that she also continue to be able to support Anila in whatever way may be most beneficial, and for the Dharma. And then for each of us, as Rinpoche said, I mean, it's unique. We have a unique bond with us. And so for each of us to work with this, the child that is our minds, to help it to grow and to support each other in the growth, rather than get competitive or nasty, or, to learn how we can move together forward on this path and continue to keep that connection in whatever way, shape, or form that it may take. And then for the growth and stability of all the FBMT centers all around the world, for them to get whatever resources that they need, so that all sentient beings can be benefited and the Dharma can flourish. And then for the bodhicitta, or at least love and compassion and kindness, to generate in our hearts, for it to grow, and for it to also grow in all the world leaders, so that the wars and conflicts can end immediately. And then for a healing of our relationship with our Mother Earth and how we treat her, so and the end to all these environmental disasters, but we take the steps to make that possible, and that by doing our practice with enthusiasm and joy, we also become an inspiration to others, so that they also may follow in that footstep. And then for all sentient beings to attain temporal and ultimate enlightenment as quickly as possible, and for the weather to improve so that we may all return to our homes safely in a timely manner, to continue to tame our minds and benefit with sentient beings. And we finally seal this dedication with emptiness, recognizing that we who are dedicating, the I who is dedicating, the act of dedicating, and the goal that we are dedicating to are all empty of inherent existence. And so we realize the bliss of that as best as we can, and that is non-dual with emptiness too. And if there's any other dedication anybody else has to share, please.
I was sent a message by Michelle Ladimna in France to dedicate for a very close friend of hers who passed away, Mariette, how do I say her last name? Gaillard, Gaillard? Gaillard. So she just asked that we dedicate to her.
Isha is a student who came here in '84, and she's aspiring to come back one more time.
And I thought what I would like to offer is, I've got here the 3 principal aspects of the path, which I see in the teachings have been on that, just to read it out. The 3 principal aspects of the path.
So yeah, I think it's a good idea. We all don't have to read it. Anila is going to read it. Please take in what she's reading. Hello. Yeah. Anila is going to read it. You don't have to read it, so she's going to read slowly. I want all of you to meditate. Okay?
Okay, the 3 principal aspects of the path. Expressing the homage. I bow down to my perfect gurus. The promise to compose. The essential meaning of the Victorious One's teachings. The path praised by all the holy victors and their sons. The gateway of the unfortunate one's desire and liberation. This I shall try to explain as much as I can. Persuading to listen. Those who are not attached to the pleasure of circling samsara, who strive to make freedoms and endowments meaningful, who entrust themselves to the path pleasing the victorious ones. You fortunate ones, listen with a calm mind.
those who are not attached to the pleasures of circling samsara, who strive to make freedoms and empowerments meaningful, who entrust themselves to the path pleasing the victorious ones. Listen with a calm mind. The purpose of generating renunciation. Without the complete intention definitely to be free from circling, there is no way to pacify attachment-seeking pleasurable effects in the ocean of circling. Also, by craving for cyclic existence, embodied beings are continuously bound. Therefore, at the very beginning, seek renunciation. And this needs to be uncontrived renunciation. So how to generate renunciation? Freedoms and endowments are difficult to find, and life has no time to spare. By gaining familiarity with this, attraction to the appearances of this life is reversed. Having no time to spare and gaining familiarity to reverse our grasping. By thinking over and over again that actions and their effects are unbetraying, and repeatedly contemplating the miseries of cyclic existence, attraction to the appearances of future lives is reversed. Thinking over and over again that actions and their effects are unbetraying, and repeatedly contemplating the miseries of cyclic existence. Attraction to the appearance of future lives is reversed, exactly as Rinpoche has told us. The definition of having generated renunciation, when, by having trained in that way, there is no arising, even for a second, of attraction to the perfections of cyclic existence, and all day and night the intention seeking liberation arises, then the thought of renunciation has been generated. The purpose of generating the mind of enlightenment. Even if renunciation has been developed, if it is not possessed by the mind of enlightenment, it does not become the cause of the perfect bliss of unsurpassed enlightenment. Therefore, the wise generate the supreme mind of enlightenment. How to generate the mind of enlightenment. Swept away by the current of the four powerful rivers, tied by the tight bounds of karma, so hard to undo, caught in the iron net of self-grasping, completely enveloped by the total darkness of ignorance, endlessly reborn in cyclic existence, ceaselessly tormented by the three sufferings, thinking that all mothers are in such a condition, generate the supreme mind of enlightenment. The tight bonds of karma, the iron net of self-grasping, the total darkness of ignorance, reborn in cyclic existence, ceaselessly tormented by the three sufferings, thinking that all mothers are in such a condition, including myself, generate the supreme mind of enlightenment. The definition of having generated the mind of enlightenment. In short, if, like the mother whose cherished son has fallen into a pit of fire, and who experiences even 1 second of his suffering as an unbearable eternity, your reflection on the suffering of all mother sentient beings has made it impossible for you to bear their suffering for even 1 second. And the wish-seeking enlightenment for their sake arises without effort. Then you have realized the supreme precious mind of enlightenment. How impossible it is to bear the suffering of others for even 1 second. The wish-seeking enlightenment for their sake arises without effort. This is the supreme precious mind of enlightenment. The reason to meditate on the right view. Without the wisdom realizing ultimate reality, even though you have generated renunciation in the mind of enlightenment, you cannot cut the root cause of circling. Therefore, attempt the method to realize dependent arising. Showing the right view. One who sees the cause and effect of all phenomena, of both cyclic existence and the state beyond sorrow, as forever unbetraying. One who sees the cause and effect of all phenomena, of both cyclic existence and the state beyond sorrow, as forever unbetraying. And for whom any object trusted in by the grasping mind has completely disappeared. He has at that time entered the path pleasing the Buddhas. The definition of not having completed the analysis of the right view. Of not having completed the analysis of the right view. If appearance of dependent relation, which is unbetraying, is accepted separately from emptiness, and as long as they are seen as separate, then one still has not realized the Buddha's intent. The definition of having completed the analysis of right view. If these two realizations are happening simultaneously without alternation, and from merely seeing dependent relation as completely unbetraying, the definite ascertainment comes from that completely destroys the way all objects are apprehended as truly existent. At that time, the analysis of the ultimate view is complete. So if these two realizations of dependent arising and of causes and conditions are happening simultaneously without alternation, and from merely seeing dependent relation as completely unbetraying, the definite ascertainment comes that completely destroys the way all objects are apprehended as truly existent. At that time, the analysis of the ultimate view is complete. The particular special quality of the Prasangika view. Furthermore, appearance eliminates the extreme of existence, and emptiness eliminates the extreme of non-existence. If you realize how emptiness manifests in the manner of cause and effect, then you are not captivated by wrong notions holding extreme views. So furthermore, appearance eliminates the extreme existence, and emptiness eliminates the extreme of non-existence. If you realize how emptiness manifests in the manner of cause and effect, then you are not captivated by wrong notions holding extreme views. In this way, we realize exactly the vital points of the three principal aspects of the path. Resort to seeking solitude, generate the power of effort, and quickly accomplish your final goal, my child. Resort to seeking solitude, generate the power of effort, and quickly accomplish your final goal, my child. And so this is what Lama Tsongkhapa has to say about the three principal aspects of the path. And I think this was a letter. This was a letter that he wrote, I think, in the latter stage of his life. I think. Maybe I do get confused. Okay.
Nimatashi. So, I think that we received so much from Rinpoche on a Dharma level and all of that, but Nimatashi also has taught us a lot of Dharma, especially patience, I think, with us. And your incredible way of adjusting to all of our incredible boring and needs. So thank you so much for everything, Nimatashi. Honestly, it wouldn't happen without you, for all of you done. This is a small, very small token. Thank you for that. Thank you for coming out. Where is Nima Lamo? So, there was also a few people throughout this path that has guided us, and especially, you know, when there was that group that was very slow, and that group that was going this direction and that direction, you know, we had all of those stories that we all know here, but they stay louder, okay? One sing louder, they stay louder. But someone that has been very kind and very generous with his time, Venerable Donyo, thank you so much for all that you have done to us as well. Then now we have another person that has been extremely helpful, and especially with me changing plans, we going this and that, and going this and that, and always adapting, saying it's okay, no problem. Staying with the late ones or going first, or all of these, no, and even giving chocolate in the best moment. Thank you so much on behalf of everybody. Always smiley, exactly. I really hoped when I heard, when Nimatashi told me that we would have a nurse together with us, I said, I hope we don't need her, we hope we don't need her. But actually we had a few times have to use all her skills and all her knowledge, and especially her kindness, her calmness. She was always calm. I think me and Lisa could say that when we had the evening with Annie Sarah, she was there and taking care, and then she stayed with Annie Sarah on behalf of all of us, taking care of Annie Sarah. So, Nimalamu, this is a small thank you for everybody for everything you've done to us. Lundrik.
Very nice.
And mother, always smiling, always helpful, carrying bags for those that, oh, I'm very tired, I'll take your bag, oh, no problem, no problem. And going everywhere, even picking up some people that got lost, you know, some Swiss people that went away, you know, just got lost. He was there so patient and always saying, Kaudenla, everybody okay, Kaudenla, everybody okay. So, thank you so much for everything. This is a small So now, they're going away. Where are the other ones? Some of the helpers of here. Yes, okay, good. Yeah, here, yeah, here. Close the door, close the door.
That's why. Only the best.
I like this man, the man. Very...
I don't know how many are here or how many are so asleep.
Yeah, I saw him.
There's how many? How many do I? 5? So, I don't know if you know Samo, but Samo has been here taking care of Anila for 10 years, 12 years? 12? 12 years. So, it's incredible, the dedication, but not only this, but also helping us, receiving us so well. I was here, when I was here in 2015 with the earthquake, we were here together, and I remember when Anila was like, everybody okay, and Anila said, okay, everybody okay, we have tea. And then she looked at Anila and she was like, okay, I make tea. So I still remember her face of like, okay, Anila said, okay, we make tea. So, yes, thank you so much, Samola. This is a small token for you. For taking care of all the cows. Thank you. He's the cook, the main cook. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Finished? Finished? Very good. So this is just thank you for everybody.
I don't think it was everybody. there is no way that we can stop this evening without saying thank you to the one and only Calvin. I don't think the evening is long enough to count all the ways that you have taken care of us. Like, before it even started, I've had the privilege to peek over his shoulder during the Heart Sutra, and he wasn't even just busy with that, he already was ages busy prepping, taking care of everything, and then obviously it continued in all the many ways, but not just logistically, but with your heart and passion. Everyone, thank you.
That's very kind. No need. For me, being here, it was a privilege. You know, I was not supposed to be here. It was supposed to be only Sarah and Nanikadro. And now you ended up with me. So I don't know if it's good karma, bad karma. So I hope it was good karma. But I think as Rinpoche said, I really feel from the bottom of my heart that we created a strong relationship. No, a relationship that is not only because of the power of the place, because of the power of the words of Rinpoche, but because of our intention to being here. As I said to Annie Sarah, this is not a Lawudo trip or a Kopan trip. It was actually all of our wishes together to pray for Rinpoche's swift return that brought us here. And for me, it was so inspiring to see people like, you know, like Wendy and Kabir that have been here, you know, like 40 years ago or more, and kind of like being able to come back with people like Josie and Jasper, you know, that, or with Fergo that like knew about Rinpoche 3 months ago, you know? That karma, that is special karma, and that is special connection that makes this group so unique, for me, represents Rinpoche. Represents what Rinpoche was all about. It was about benefiting all sentient beings. So I just thank you all for that, and I really hope that we can meet again, especially here in Lawudo. Okay? So you make strong